Welcome back, folks. Joining me now. Well, first let me tell you a story. This is actually fun. When I first came to Washington as a young reporter 35 years ago, there was this young guy going around town trying to get politicians to sign a pledge saying they wouldn't raise American taxes. From that effort came one of the greatest tax reform movements in the history of this country. Everywhere we go today now, there are Republicans in state legislatures working to reduce Americans' tax burden, and they're going to bring that mentality one day to Washington. All of that traces back to a guy I've known for more than 3 decades. He's the president and the founder of Americans for Tax Reform, my good friend, Grover Norquist. Grover, good to have you on.
Good to be with you.
All right, before we get into all the fun things going on in the state and what might one day get exported to Washington, let's start with the shutdown. We've lived through a few of these shutdowns, but this one feels a little different. It feels like Donald Trump has something up his sleeve that might leave the government a little slimmer. What do you think?
Well, in the past, when the government would shut down for 3 days, 3 weeks, a little bit longer, they would let people go home if they weren't necessary. But when they came back, they would be paid. So
right.
Basically, they got a vacation. They got to go home and they got paid. There was no saving for taxpayers at all. People would talk, oh, we're going to shut the government down, or the government got shut down. It didn't shut down. The people kept getting paid. Nothing changed. This time it's different. The Trump administration announced from the beginning, we will not be letting people go home on furlough. We will be letting go contracts. We will be letting some people go because once you've passed the date, October 1st, when the government's obligation to pay you or to pay a contract is over, since that's how long the deal was, that money was appropriated for, we don't have to make that payment. So they've decided they will be slimming down the size of government, sculpting it, not hacking at it, but just they can decide very rationally, don't pay this bill, do pay that bill. And they've announced $8 billion worth of contracts out to green, ridiculous spending that should never have been approved. And then that's gone now. And you'd have to have the Congress come and pass it through the House, the Senate, and the presidency again in the future. That isn't happening. It's over. And there are many days of those decisions to be made, so that when the Democrats, who shut the government down, they ended it. And Mr. Schumer, head of the Democrats in the Senate, he warned the Democrats 7 months ago, don't do this. You'll give Trump and his people all the clout. And he convinced the other Democrats, okay, we won't do it. But then when it got around to this date, October 1st, the Democrats were so unhappy. They wanted to lash out and do something ridiculous. It didn't matter if it accomplished anything. Reminds me of that scene just before the end in Animal House, where somebody says, well, we're all getting kicked out of the university at Dartmouth, and they're going to close down our fraternity. It's time to do something futile and stupid. And that's what they decided to do. And the Democrats have taken the same approach. They know this doesn't accomplish anything for them, but they have to lash out. And Schumer, if he's going to keep being the leader of this band, has to join them in acting like Bluto.
Yeah, well, they're going to wake up with a lot of regret a few days later, I think, and this does feel like a lasting change to government that's going to come out of this. Grover, I want to turn to something else, because you have worked your entire career to get people educated on the dangers of excessive spending and taxing, and now you have a Republican Party that from the ground up, from the local level all the way up to the state level, and one day maybe back in Washington again, a movement that is cutting income taxes. You've got a lot of zero income taxes, a lot of flat income taxes. There's movements now to get rid of local property taxes. Tell us just how much progress has been made in the last few years. I think it's not chronicled well enough. It's pretty impressive.
Sure. Over 64 years, from 1932 to 1994, that's when the Republicans only won Congress twice. 62 years, Democrats ran everything except for 2 times. In 1994, that's when 96% of the Republicans signed the pledge never to raise taxes.
Yep.
Since then, since 1994, what happened? Republicans have won Congress, both houses, 18 years, Democrats, 6 years. So the Republican Party is the party that will not raise your taxes, has become the dominant party, 3-1. Before, they weren't even on the playing field. So that's at the national level, very helpful. Whenever the Republicans have power, they cut taxes. Whenever the Democrats have power, they raise taxes. Go to the state level. There are 8 states with no income tax, no state income tax. And that's been around for a while. But there are now 12 states where the House and Senate and the governor said, we are going to zero. The following states have passed laws that will automatically click them down to zero, even if they don't have to do anything else. That is Mississippi and Oklahoma, Indiana, West Virginia, and Kentucky, 5 states, automatically clicking to zero. There are 12 that have made the commitment to go to zero and taken serious steps to get there. On the flat tax issue, used to be 8 states that had single rate taxes 6 years ago. Today, it's 16. It's doubled. There are 3 more that have passed laws to get them to actual flat taxes. So pretty soon, half the nation will be in states with single rates, and in a number of years, 20 states will be at zero. So you're talking about people leaving California and New York, which they're doing now, but now they can move to 8 states. The day's going to come when there are 20 states they can move to. You don't have to travel a long way to leave New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Minnesota to go to a state that will have zero income tax. And 2/3 of the governors, of Republicans, have signed the pledge never to raise taxes. The next generation of Republican elected officials, state legislative leaders that'll become congressmen, senators, presidents, they're all committed not to raise taxes and moving to zero.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. There are going to be a lot of lonely liberals in New York and Sacramento one day. Pretty soon, actually. Grover, great to have you on. Congratulations on all the success you've had over the years. And thanks for a good budget update today. Really important in this moment of extraordinary history. Thanks for joining us.
We're getting there. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we are indeed. All right, folks, quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about ballot fraud and one scare in Maine. It is shocking. Bobby Charles, my good friend, up here next.